Hi everyone, it's Natalie from Raise Learning. I'm just going to show you today how to add an activity into your programs. So the first thing we need to do is to open up the program we want to add the activity to. So let's choose the demonstration. On the 9th of April is the program we want. We'll hit search. Okay, so here's our program with the heading notes if we want to add in here. We could also add group goals or any other notes that we want to appear at the top of our program. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to review any linked observations that we've added that we want to follow up in this program. And here we go. We can see that there was a observation taken about Gyrus and Ryder. And we can see here that we said we were going to extend on the Spy Kids theme. So bearing that in mind, we can go in and add an activity. There's two ways we can add an activity to our programs. We can either use the drop-down menus. Just bearing in mind, if you do use the drop-down menus, that the instructions won't be automatically copied across and that the list is actually very large at the moment, more than 6,000 activities and growing every day. So we recommend that you use the search and plan tool. And as you can see, there's various ways we can search for activities. We can search by EYLF outcomes as categorised by other members using the database, by learning domains, or by age group. But in this case, we're just going to use a keyword search, SPY. And this is the activity that we want, Spy Kids Role Play, and we're going to copy that one to the plan. So as you can see, it's copied across the instructions for that activity. If you wanted to change the instructions or modify it in any way, you can. So you can go through, and perhaps you don't want to include open art in construction. You could delete that, but in this case we won't, we'll keep that. And we just need to now make some notes about why we chose that activity. So this is extending on a previous observation, Gyrus and Ryder. We're going to run this every day this week. We're going to nominate which of the primary outcomes that we're supporting by this activity. So we're broadly supporting children to be confident and involved in our program and to support their communication skills. Now, normally we would just submit this activity and we'll go to the bottom of this form and we'll come back later in and we'll edit it and add to it our reflections and notes. But in this case, let's just pretend that we've already ran this activity or it was an emergent activity and we can now reflect upon it. So we'll type up our reflections. We've also provided an additional space for you to make notes or critically reflect on issues that were around this program activity for your self-improvement, and these aren't viewable by families. So now, having done this and reflected and reviewed your practice, we ask you to say which of the 5 teaching principles of the Early Years Learning Framework are supported by this activity. And in this case, we did do a critical reflection. So we are talking about learning and reflective practice. And then what of the 8 teaching practices did we support? As our activity was responding to children and their needs, we'll talk about responsiveness to children. The children are learning through play. We established a learning environment that supported the expressive arts of children and also supported their being responsive to their interests and needs. And then if we wanted to, we could also add some photos to our reflection. And then we hit submit.